Hey there, everybody. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to the channel. I am Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. And going to keep this one short. I wanted to check in with you all because I've gotten some emails and messages on a couple of things on your mind. And I went to Spirit and they were like, yeah, let's touch base on that. So the People's March, January 18th. It is sort of a revamped version, from what I understand, of the Women's March that we know about, where the pink pussies, the hats and stuff, remember in 2017, it was such a powerful moment. I wish I had been able to be there, but that's happening. I want to take a look. People have expressed concerns about safety and if, just how that's going to go. So let's take a look at that. We already know, Spirit is already, the guides have been pretty clear. We're not going to get the numbers that we saw before. There will be fewer numbers, but what they're telling me is going to be really pivotal is it will put people in touch with organizations that are going to be on a local level in various states and cities, that people can still get involved in, because what we don't want is this continued sense of feeling defeated and feeling frustrated, and I've even felt it here on the channel, continuing to do political readings, that it's a tough time. It's a really tough time for those of us who believe in democracy, and those of us who know that the election was a lot that didn't get called the way that it needed to get called. Why that has not more hasn't been done to bring that out, that's a topic for another day. But I want us, I think we should all coalesce around and applaud the fact that this march is taking place. Spirit is saying it's such a shot in the arm for people who are getting frustrated with governmental leaders, democratic leaders who seem to be almost, backing back a little bit, being a little quieter than we would like. So want to take a look first and foremost at how that march is going to go. Is it going to be safe? And then also, several of you have reached out talking about Democratic leaders, like what's happening with AOC. She, from what I understand, I can't remember the name of it. Let me look it up real quick for you. I've got my laptop here in front of me. So we know that she lost her bid against Connolly for the Oversight Committee, right? Disgusting. Pelosi strikes again, right? And as well as the old guard. The bottom line is these were older white men who just don't want to make room for new voices and new energy. That's going to backfire on them in time. Spirit, the guides are very, very clear on that. But I do want to see, what is this house that she has gotten a seat in? Let's see. It is hold on. It is, okay, not the Oversight Committee. That's the one that she lost. She has been appointed to the, I'm going to get there. She's been appointed to the Energy and Commerce Committee. That's it. She has been appointed. And that's also a very competitive, all those committees are, it's about the who's who. And from what I understand, so she has made it on the Energy and Commerce Committee. So she will be very involved in economic concerns. Going to need that. Really interesting to see how that's going to play out with Musk and Vivek's Doge, right? That's going to be something to keep an eye on. But I want to take a look at her as well and see how she's doing. And I just jumped right in. If you're new to the channel, I am a certified tarot and oracle reader. I am an initiated priestess in the both pagan and African traditions. And I am a former newspaper journalist. So I like to kind of, get grounded in facts, or feel like I can find information and then go to Spirit and get more clarity around it. So first, you all, let's take a look at AOC. I'm definitely getting from Spirit that we're going to see some Ten of Cups. Yeah, she's coalescing with people who are going to support her as an up and coming leader. I'm wondering if Spirit is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Is she eventually headed for the Senate? I'm just jumping right ahead here. Nine of Swords. She's got some work to do before she's ready for that. And the Four of Pentacles, exactly. She's hedging her bets. That loss on the Oversight Committee, was tough. It was tough on her. because she had a lot of support, as many of you will recall. She had a lot of support going into that appointment, and then the rug was pulled out from beneath her. So she's really, that Nine of Swords, it feels like she's being extremely careful about making sure that she's got support, making sure it's not about her turning away from her progressive ideals at all. But we have seen her as she matures as a politician in DC. She's learning how to navigate those waters, and I feel like that Four of Pentacles is she's working between how do I remain true to my constituents, to my quote unquote brand as a politician. We know her for being a firebrand, for being progressive, for being fearless and speaking truth to power. Now that she's done that, she's also seeing how that power can be resistant to who she is and what she brings to the table. There's a lot of fear. They fear her. They really fear her. Spirit. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her future. Seven of Cups. She's mulling some moves, you all. We've heard, word on the street is that she's thinking about the Senate. Spirit, is this latest appointment to the Energy and Commerce Committee, is it going to pave the way for her to make a bid for the Senate, make a run for the Senate? Four of Cups and Six of Wands. Four of Cups and Six of Wands. She's trying to decide how hard she wants to fight it at this point, or whether she still needs to dig her heels in where she is in the House and gain more experience before she makes that move. But it is not out of the question, y'all. We have the Six of Wands. Look at that. That's on the horse, focused forward, fire in the belly, wands coming in fire. She believes in, and the Page of Swords, exactly, her messaging and her making some decisions relative to where she wants her career to go in the future. So this isn't immediate. It's almost like Spirit is saying, slow down, Afefe. I get it. Thank you, Spirit. They're saying, slow down, Afefe, one step at a time. So I am feeling ultimately we will see more from her. She is definitely destined for more. Four of Swords. She just wants to be clear. This bid for the Oversight Committee and the way that she went about it, she is in the process of gauging who she can get support from, how she can begin to learn more about the inner workings of how these old guard dudes work, so that she can then tailor it and get her messaging, so that next time, because when she's not a loser, she's not one that does losing easily, she's not built for that, she's a winner, and so she's going to go for more. We will see her rise, but in terms of her Three of Pentacles, I get it. Don't be fooled, Spirit is saying, if you begin to see AOC appearing to bridge gaps, work more closely with those who ideologically she's not aligned with. This is really a study period for her. It's a way for her to get further into the inner workings, these inner chambers, so that she can then go forward with her plans in the future and make a difference, especially as we do get towards 2026. Eight of Pentacles, thank you. That's the confirmation. Exactly. Skills. Eight of Pentacles is like building your skills, becoming a master at what you do. So even though she's been in Congress now, 6 years? She's been in Congress for quite a while. Got an eyelash in my eye. She's been in DC. 29 years old, very young when she was first elected, but she is still undergoing a learning curve. And this loss to Connolly and the Oversight Committee was a real eye opener for her, but it's also laying the groundwork for what she's going to do and her ability to gain that support. Two of Wands, completely forward focused. And so she's going to be just fine. For those of you who are wondering, like, where is she? Don't be fooled if you don't hear as much from her on a consistent basis, as fired up as she was when she was going for the House Oversight Committee. I didn't even realize that she had gotten this other appointment, excuse me, to the Energy and Commerce Committee. Had you heard about it? These days we got to dig for ourselves because the media isn't giving us a lot of the news that we really do care about. So she's straight. She's in the back, she's doing her studies so that she can position herself to move forward. Spirit is saying she will go for the Senate at some point, but that is not what is first and foremost on her mind right now. She's really working to get herself more entrenched in the inner workings so that she can then grab that power and make a difference. Okay, now this March, on January 18th, Spirit, ooh, what jumped out? Page of Swords. People are ready for it. People need this messaging. People need to hear that despite, it seems like every single day, right? Especially, we've had such a tough week, you all. With, Jack Smith just went ahead and resigned yesterday. I'm taping this real early Sunday morning. Jack Smith, we knew it was coming, but it still hurt, Juan Merchan's decision on Friday, the quote unquote sentencing, we can't even, that just doesn't feel right calling it that, right? But we knew that that's what was going to have to happen. Otherwise, the Supreme Court was going to squash it. So he basically had to come out ahead. Like, when do you hear a judge announce what the sentencing is going to be before the sentencing is announced? It's where we are right now, and he knew that. Juan Merchan is a pragmatist. He's a pragmatist. And he recognized, he saw exactly what was about to happen. The whole thing was about to go to hell in a handbasket unless he had announced ahead of time. I'm going to keep the sentence as it is, technically, but there will be no punishment. And that was the only way he could get the Supreme Court to sit back. And even then, 5-4 decision, let's not even go down that road, right? That was wild. All right, so this March, Wheel of Fortune. This is a cycle. The promoters of this march, the organizers of the march, Planned Parenthood, LGBTQ, all of the organizations that we know were very involved in the Kamala Harris campaign, etc., those who care about the real needs of American people. This is a way for them to start to move into a new cycle of activism and building commitments. The Hangman, Neptune. Will they be safe? That's what I'm asking. Will they be safe? Two of Wands and the Lovers and the Six of Wands. They're going to be fine. And the Tower. They're going to be fine. And their message, ultimately, Tower ruled by Pluto, right? Their messaging is going to be to keep people recognizing that what has fallen apart, or what apparently has fallen apart, what we all feel like has fallen apart, which is, the reality of that we all knew we deserved, right? That despite that, there is this focus forward. The Two of Wands. So they will be safe. Nine of Cups. People need this. 10 of Wands. Overwhelmed. And the 5 of Wands. Exactly. Overwhelmed. This conflict, this constant and steady conflict, and their desire. The messaging from this march is the desire of the people to move beyond this conflict and to give one another support under very, very oppressive circumstances. So all of that, like, I can hear some of you going, duh, Afefe, that's not news. But I think Spirit is just giving us that confirmation that we're not going to see, don't be misled if, depending on how the media covers this, they may try to downplay the numbers that actually show up, the efficacy of this march, like ultimately, what is it going to lead to? The moon, exactly. There will be more that happens that we are not meant to see, meaning the ability of people to understand we are not alone. Whatever city you're in, whatever state you're in, red state, blue state, that while it may feel as if we're being marginalized, that's the word Spirit is giving me, that we're all being pushed aside and marginalized while this steamroll of the oligarchy just takes off and goes at lightning speed. That's not the case. There's more than meets the eye. And what this is going to do is give people an outlet to express their real feelings and beliefs and desires to stay connected. Two of Cups. Yeah, I love it. Two of Cups. and the Three of Pentacles. Just said it. Stay connected and work together. All right. So to the extent that many of us can't attend or whatever the case may be, I think what I'm hearing from Spirit is use this opportunity to find out which organizations are in fact involved in this march on the 18th. Express your support. Stay tuned in to their mechanisms, their groups on social media, and just pay attention to what they're planning in the future, because as they come together, they will there's work after this. Spirit is saying there will be a lot of work that starts to take place after this march, where now Four of Wands, thank you, it jumped out. Four of Wands, working together, commitment. What can we do? You know, I've got your back, you've got mine. You're in Oregon, you know, I'm in North Carolina. Fine. Let's find ways to continue to stay in contact and build on what we do on the 18th or leading up to the 18th. So this is really good, you all. Please do, even though Spirit says they're going to be okay, please do put your prayers around those who are traveling to DC for this march. I understand there are going to be versions of the march in various cities around the country. So let's just keep them in mind, please, you know, that they are safe, that their voices are heard, and most importantly, that that the ties that are meant to happen with people becoming introduced to one another, organizers, and leaders, and you know, connecting the dots from state to state to state. That's the larger picture. That begins to form and continues. This is not supposed to be a one-off event. Let's just go spout off for a day. There's something in this energy that's meant to build off of it. All right, you all? I said I was going to keep it short and sweet, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I appreciate you all so much. Please remember, I am offering, I decided to offer the first Friday of each month. I'm going to do a private Zoom. I'll host it. Spiritual politics. Those of us who want to come together in a safe space, kind of a think tank, kind of doing a version of what I just talked about, you know, different areas of the country or even internationally, where you want to be able to express your concerns, your ideas, your hopes, even if you're feeling challenged in your own homes or your neighborhoods. You know, a lot of us are blue dots in a red sea. This is a place and a forum that I want to host privately off of a large network or platform like this, where you can get trolls, etc. I want to do it in a more controlled environment, private environment, where we can come together and support one another as community and share ideas. It's not about a bitch session. It's definitely not about, you know, sharing grievances. It's about encouragement and motivation to stay the course. All right, you all? That's it. That's all I got. You all have a really good day, and let's go into this week, see what's next. There's going to be more. Remember to breathe, shoulders back, and we got this. I'll talk to you real soon. Be safe out there. Bye. And prayers, of course, to continued prayers to those impacted by the fires in California. There's going to be a lot around that in the months and perhaps even years to come. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Take care.